الحمد لله الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الواحد القهار الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Amma ba'd. Praises are for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has guided us to this deen, al-Islam. We praise and we thank Allah, we glorify Him. We extol His beautiful names and attributes. We ask Allah ta'ala to continue to guide us and to put us onto the Sirat al-Mustaqim. I testify that there is no one worthy of worship besides Allah, and I testify that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is indeed the true messenger and servant of Allah. Brothers and sisters, as you're aware, this is a special season. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created different seasons for the believers, nafhat, in order for us to gain extra hasanat, extra blessings and barakah. This is out of the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He created these seasons. And if we know what is ahead of the season, I am absolutely sure we will plan far ahead in order to experience and to get the best of reward of these 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, today being the first of those 10 days. These are considered to be very blessed moments and blessed days that we cannot misuse. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, according to many of our ulama, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He swore by these 10 days. Wal Fajr وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ. When you look at the tafsir, all the tafasir as regards to this, it says that it refers to the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Wal Fajr, Allah swear by dawn. You see, only Allah can swear by His creation. We cannot swear by Allah's creation. It is basically haram to swear by Allah's creation. I know many people swear by the Quran, they swear by the Kaaba, they swear by the parents, they swear by many things. This is not allowed. As a matter of fact, Muslims should abstain from swearing unless it becomes real necessary. Right? Very often we hear wallahi, wallahi. Right? And just to go about or to get over the point you're making, we say wallahi. Of course, we can swear by Allah. We can only swear by Allah. But only Allah can swear by His creation. You find that in the Quran, Allah swear by time, wal asr, wal fajr, wal duha. Allah swear by all, wal shams, and Allah, wal qamar. Allah swear by His creation, the sun and the moon. And so these 10 days, Allah swore by them according to the tafsir. Then our Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam, he says, "Ma min ayyam al-amal as-salih fiya ahabba ila Allah min hadhihi al-ayyam." The Prophet says, messenger saying, there is no virtue more of the liking to Allah in the day than in these days, meaning these 10 days. There are no other deeds are in the more liking than deeds that are done in these 10 days. So subhanAllah, we are in a very special season to be able to grab hasanat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the Sahaba, they became very curious. And immediately what comes to their mind? Ya Rasulullah, wal jihad fi sabilillah? Even it is greater than jihad fi sabilillah? Go out in the path of Allah? Can you imagine how the Sahaba think, right? right away they think about jihad. And the Prophet says, even jihad fi sabilillah. Illa, except one who go out fi sabilillah with himself, his wealth, but he did not return. That is a better deed than the deeds that are done in these 10 days. So you could imagine right now, we are not in jihad fi sabilillah, except small jihad al-nafs, that we make with ourselves. But this jihad fi sabilillah, meaning go out in the path of Allah to defend Islam. We are not asked to do that. So there is no deed that we can do in America or Saravel that is better than any deed that is done in these 10 days. Period. And so the Prophet ﷺ, he says, no amal, no deeds are righteous than these 10 days. And there are many ahadith. Once the Prophet said, ahabba, more love. Then in another hadith he says, afdal. In another hadith. In another hadith he says, a'zam. Nothing greater. So he used all of these terminologies to describe the action and the deeds that can be done from today until Eid al-Adha. And so we need to right away understand that the ulama said that the days of Dhul Hijjah are the 10 best days. But the 10 best nights is Ramadan, right? So let's don't get confused. Because when we hear 10 days, we say, hey, we were told about Ramadan. Ramadan, according to the ulama, the 10 nights are the best nights. The 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are the best days of Dhul Hijjah. And so the dalil for this, as the Prophet man ayyam min amal salihah fi ahabba ila Allah min hadhihi al-ayyam. So the only time of the year the pillars of Islam reach together. This is the only time that the pillars of Islam, what are the pillars? The 5 pillars? This is the only time in the year that it comes together. Right? And what are the pillars? Testifying in Allah. Shahada, we say Shahada. Now we can say it anytime. We make Salah. It reaches. We fast, because fasting is recommended in these days. And if you cannot fast, we will talk about that in a few minutes. At least one of those among the days, which is Arafah. So fasting reaches. Hajj reaches. Subhanallah. So all of the pillars of Islam reach together during this season of these 10 days. It has the day of Arafah. It has the day of Arafah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He boasts to His angels that, look at my slaves, they came from every corner of the world to worship me and to give obedience to me. Allah boasts about us to His angels on the day of Arafah. And Arafah is in these 10 days. So you could imagine what are the barakah and the fada'il of this 10 days. And then he says the best day of the year, many of us would think, is Yawm al-Arafah. Yawm al-Arafah has a special status. But the best day of the year is Yawm al-Nahr, according to the hadith. The day of Eid. Yawm al-Nahr is the greatest day according to the hadith of the Prophet alayhi salam. Arafah has a special category in terms of the fada'il. But Yawm al-Nahr, the day of Eid, you know, a lot of times we think Eid al-Adha is, it's not a great day much. Many of us, we celebrate Eid al-Fitr more than Eid al-Adha. But Eid al-Adha is a bigger Eid. It is a greater Eid than Eid al-Fitr. Yawm al-Nahr, according to the hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And there are more days that are given for its celebration and observation. Yamun Nahar. And so, what we should do, the question is, what should we do in these 10 days? Number one, don't go into these days. Today is the first day. If you have not done it yet, don't go into these days with hate in your heart. Shahna. You know, Shahna is a type of hate you have for someone. Even if you come for Salah and this man is by the side of you, you cringe. That's Shahna. Don't do that. If you're not speaking to your brothers, pick up the phone and give him a call. Forgive me, my brother. Assalamu alaikum. If you're not speaking to your parents, if you have siblings rivalry, please, I am begging you, bring it together. Clear your heart. Don't get into these 10 days with Shahna. Don't allow hate and rancor to occupy your heart. You have to clean yourself. It's like, you know, a guest is coming, you clean your house, clean your soul. Number two, our amal. It is said that our actions are put on hold. Our actions are on hold. If we have hate, if we have shahna, you know, our actions go up to Allah on Mondays and Thursdays, it is suspended. It's not reaching Allah. If you have shahna, it's not reaching Allah. It's suspended and it remains in space. If you wanted to reach Allah, clear your heart. And this is across the board. Families are having issues. Husband and wife don't speak to each other. Being in the same house. That's terrible shahna. You can't be doing that when these Sundays are there. You have to ensure that you have the blessings. Number three, fulfill your obligations. Don't mess up your salah. Don't mess up your obligation. Wake up for Fajr. It makes no sense. You do extra actions in this 10 days, but your salah is topsy-turvy, upside down. Make sure you wake up on time. And now it's very challenging. Fajr comes in very early. By the time you move around sunrise, wallahi, this is a challenge, a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fajr comes in very early now. And so it's very important for us to make sure that our prayers are up to standard or obligation. Number four, please attend a jama'ah. Please attend the masjid if you can, as much as possible, to make your salah in jama'ah. These are things that you can do in these Sundays that can increase your reward with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you understand this by fulfilling your obligation, then Allah will increase your hasanat. Increase your nawafil. Increase your nawafil. Increase your optional prayer. Now, which is the longest good deeds? Let's think about it. Which is the longest good deed that we can do in these 10 days? Fasting, right? Fasting for so many hours. The longest good deed. Sadaqah, you give it done in 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 2 minutes. Charity. Dhikr, maybe you, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, can be done in 3 minutes. But fasting is the longest good deeds. How much fast can you do? If you can afford to fast every day, go for it. Go for it. If you can fast all 9 days, go for it. It's highly encouraged to do so. And in order, if, let's say, you say, well, brother, I can fast every day. I know if you don't fast, it's not a sin, right? If you don't fast, it's not a sin. It's not like a Ramadan fast. So it means it becomes more challenging. Here is a fast that if you don't fast, there is no sin. So sometimes we don't do it. That's fine, there is no sin. But if you cannot do any day, make sure you don't miss the night, which is Arafah. And if you cannot do any day, don't miss Arafah. According to right now, today, the first of Zulhijjah, Arafah will be next Saturday. The 9th, next Saturday. Don't miss that. Make sure you try to fast that day. What is the reward for that? 1 year of sin that passed will be forgiven, and one that is coming will be forgiven. Subhanallah. 2 years of barakah, of fasting for just 1 day. Arafah. And the other thing is, some of our brothers probably went to Hajj, few of them from our community. Muslim Ummah will be gathering in Mecca, over 2 to 3 million people to fulfill his obligation. Some of us we cannot go physically, some of us we don't have the funds. How can you have the reward of Hajj and Umrah right here in Saraville? How can you have the reward of Hajj and Umrah? You don't have the money, you don't have the physical condition to go. How can I get it? Well, we can have 9 Hajj and Umrah every single day. We go to the masjid, we make our salah in Jama'ah, we remain in the same masjid until Shuruq, and after the sun rises, we make, after 10 to 15 minutes, you make 2 rak'ah salah. Subhanallah. Reward of Hajj and Umrah. Right here in Saraville, man. Without spending money. Without leaving your family. Why wouldn't you want to do something like that? For our sisters, don't feel that you're left out. Our ulama says that, of course, sisters should have a special area in their home that they pray. And the ulama says, if even the woman prays in their home of Fajr, and they remain in that corner of their musalla in the home, and they make 2 rak'ah after sunrise, after 10 to 15 minutes, they, our sisters, also will have the blessings of Hajj and Umrah. Subhanallah. So the days of blessings are here. For our young brothers, our young people, obedience to your parents is amal as-salih. It is amal as-salih. Be dutiful to your parents. Obey them. You can acquire and accumulate hasanat. You don't play around with these Sundays. It's such a barakah that you can do. Qiyamul Layl. What is Qiyamul Layl? Qiyamul Layl, that any prayer that is made after Salatul Isha. Let's say you cannot wake up later in the night. Okay? For tahajjud. Qiyamul Layl is any prayer that is said after Salatul Isha. So after Salatul Isha, you make your sunnah and everything, and before you go to bed, you make a 2 or 4 rak'ah. Qiyamul Layl. Subhanallah, these are actions. Reciting the Quran. Challenge yourself to do 3 juz a day. And within the 10 days, you could finish the Quran. You could finish the Quran. And so these are some points that I want to bring to us practically, that we can make the best of these 10 days. I pray that Allah bless you and your family, and may Allah grant us many Hajj and Umrah in these times, and may Allah accept from us the goodness of our actions. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم وسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. والله Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, we ask of you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to save our brothers and sisters who are going through difficulty through all this ummah. Ya Allah, our ummah, Ya Allah, is boiling is boiling with fear, Ya Allah. Allah, remove that fear. Oh Allah, remove that fear, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, defeat the enemies, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, make it easy for our brothers and sisters and grant them Jannah al-Firdaus. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وأقم الصلاة.
Assalamu alaikum. Quick announcement. We just want to let everyone know that inshallah Eid will be in GFK Park on next Sunday, inshallah, on the 16th at 8:30 and 10. Two salah will have, inshallah. Also, the Qurbani and the Udiya flyers on the WhatsApp group, please reserve your shares. Please do so. We do have a lot of animals in Africa and India. So please come forward and get those shares, inshallah.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا اعتدلوا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر إن إلينا إيابهم ثم إن علينا حسابهم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. Allahu Akbar.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.